Good morning. I am Christina Judd, the Public Relations Director for Salt Lake City Police Department. Thank you for being here today. Pursuant to the Mayor's executive orders signed October 17th, 2017, we will be making public body-worn camera footage. In a few moments, Captain Lance Van Dongen will do a brief walkthrough of the officer-involved critical incident that occurred on Wednesday, April 18th on Princeton Avenue. As a reminder, this is an open and active investigation by West Valley City Police Department as per the OICI protocol. A few ground rules. Captain Van Dongen will not be available for questions afterward. All of the facts that we have at this time will be presented to you during this briefing. All comments are on the record and attributable to Captain Van Dongen. This press conference contains graphic imagery, audio, and video. Please be aware of that and take it into consideration for your broadcasts before we proceed. Please silence all your ringers at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Van Dongen.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. Again, I'm Captain Lance Van Dongen. I'm the Division Commander for the Special Operations Division of the Salt Lake City Police Department. The Special Operations Division includes 3 different units. It includes the Tactical Unit, the Strategic Deployment Unit, and the Motors Special Event Unit. These units are further comprised of the SWAT team, narcotics, organized crime, gangs, our various bike units, the motor squad and special events folks, as well as our social worker program, our CIT program, and our host program. Just to reiterate and to be clear, I will not be taking any questions at the conclusion of this brief. I will provide a prepared statement to accompany an audio-visual presentation that has also been prepared. As previously mentioned, I'm here to provide an update on the officer-involved critical incident that occurred Wednesday, April 18th. In this incident, officers were dispatched to a domestic violence call with a weapon. To date this year, we've had 18 cases of domestic violence with a weapon. I would like to just take a moment to explain how dangerous domestic violence calls can be for both parties involved in the incident as well as the responding officers. Domestic violence calls are highly unpredictable and considered high-hazard calls. We take domestic violence very seriously and we never arrive alone. Often the aggressor becomes more aggressive when the police arrive. And while we attempt to resolve these disputes peacefully, sometimes the parties involved dictate how the officers respond. Again, these calls are highly unpredictable and emotionally charged and are never easy for officers. This incident is Salt Lake City Police Department's first officer-involved critical incident for 2018 and the first fatal. At this time last year, we had no officer-involved critical incidences. These are the facts as we know them today. At 12:15 hours, dispatch received a call from the victim with a report of her boyfriend assaulting her, breaking out windows, and making suicidal threats. She also reported that he had half of a pair of scissors to his neck. This is the dispatch call.
911, what is your emergency?
Yeah, my boyfriend just broke all the glass in my house and he punched me a bunch in the face and now he's threatening to kill himself.
What's the address?
1132 East Princeton Avenue.
Okay, and repeat the address.
1132 East Princeton Avenue.
Okay, you're calling for... So stay on the line with me, okay? And now tell me exactly what happened.
I don't know. I just told him to leave, and he said, I'm going to leave. And he went downstairs, and I heard a bunch of glass break.
Okay.
And then he came upstairs, and I said, what is wrong with you? And he said, do you want to see somebody die? And I said, no.
Okay.
Why are you threatening to kill yourself?
Okay.
And I said, just leave. And I kicked him, and so he just punched me over and over and over.
Okay.
And I said, stop, it hurts. And then
Okay.
he just took the knife and took it to his neck, and I just ran out of the house and called 911.
Okay. Okay. Okay, when did this happen? How many minutes ago?
I don't, 2, 3, 5.
Okay, no problem. Okay, and you said that he had a knife? What type of knife was it?
It's a half of a pair of scissors.
Okay. And
But all
that
the
was the
glass
last
in my
thing you saw of
downstairs
him,
is
what he was
broken.
holding? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm just making some notes for them, okay?
Again, this incident took place at 1132 East Princeton Avenue. The victim made the 911 call from the house next door. Here's a picture of the area. Keep in mind, there is a school nearby, and there was a temporary shelter in place initiated. Officers were dispatched to a domestic violence call with a weapon. Here's the home where the domestic violence occurred and the officer, or the OICI, occurred. The suspect was identified as DeLorean Pickevit, 32. Pickevit's criminal history includes convictions for possession of methamphetamine, multiple DUIs, interfering with an officer, multiple counts of possession of controlled substance, as well as child endangerment. At the time of this call, Pickevit was a wanted parole fugitive who had walked away from Fortitude Treatment Center, a halfway house, and he had an active felony warrant for child endangerment. After the call to 911, officers were dispatched at 12:19 hours and arrived at 12:23 hours and spoke to the victim, who had visible signs of an assault and also provided additional information about the suspect. Pickevit followed the victim to the house next door. He was on the sidewalk when officers arrived. When officers attempted to contact Pickevit to talk with him, he ran back to 1132 East Princeton Avenue and went inside the house. Officers made multiple attempts to contact Pickevit and observed him holding two edged weapons. It was later determined that the weapons were a long knife and the one half of a pair of scissors. These pictures are screenshots taken from the body-worn cameras. Clearer evidence pictures of the weapons were taken by the West Valley City Police Department and are part of their investigation. At 12:35 hours, the on-scene officers learned that Pickevit was a parole fugitive. At 12:41 hours, a Salt Lake City Police Department negotiator was called out and arrived approximately 8 minutes later at 12:49 hours, and he took over negotiations to encourage the suspect to exit the house and talk. At 12:53 hours, the suspect made comments about going out with a bang. At 13:12 hours, due to being an armed, barricaded suspect, the Salt Lake City Police Department SWAT team was called out, and they took tactical command of the scene at 13:18 hours. At 13:45 hours, officers reported a strong smell of gas coming from the house. The suspect also alluded to igniting a lighter. Therefore, SWAT turned off the gas to the house. At 13:47 hours, Pickevit said he was not going back to jail and that he is going to die today. At 13:50 hours, Pickevit exited the home holding a weapon in each hand, saying, "Shoot me." You can see in these pictures the edged weapons in both hands. You can also see how he raised his hands, which he did multiple times, and how he advanced from the door. Negotiators immediately engaged Pickevit as he exited the home, telling him to sit down, drop the weapons multiple times. Over the course of about a minute and a half, officers commanded Pickevit to sit down over 9 times and to drop the weapon over 11 times, in addition to other commands from officers, which he did not respond to. video is from one of the SWAT members. In the video, you will see Pikovit on the porch. He raised the weapons into the air and lowered them. He advanced and held his arms out and said, "Shoot me." He advanced several times, pounded his chest, and said, "Shoot me." He then started to step side to side and said, "Shoot me." Then he threw the weapon in his right hand to the ground and moved the weapon from his left hand to his right hand and made an aggressive gesture several times. You will also hear one of the officers state, "If he goes back in, I'm going to hit him." The officer who states this is holding the 40mm less lethal option. The other officers continued to call out commands to drop his weapon and sit down when he advanced the last time. This is the video.
DeLorean, Salt City Police Department. Doors open. Come out with your hands up, buddy.
On your right. On your right.
Don't come off that porch.
Drop the knife.
Shoot. Don't come off that porch.
Bill, if he goes back in, I'm going to hit him.
He's got a knife left hand. Go back, come out, drop the knife, and we can end this peacefully. We can end this peacefully. Come on, man, it's okay. We can end this peacefully. Come on, man. Put the knife down. Put the knife down. 2 knives.
Hey,
Put the knife down.
DeLorean, I'm glad you came out. Remember I was talking to you earlier? Don't come up anymore. Do me a favor and get
Stop
out of
right
there.
there.
Let Hartley talk.
DeLorean,
Stop
sit down.
right there.
You sit down, DeLorean.
Stop
Let
right
Hartley
there.
talk, Josh. Let Hartley talk.
DeLorean, do me a favor. Sit down. Hey, DeLorean. DeLorean, do me a huge favor and sit down. Look at me
Wait
for a
till he
second.
takes. Let Hartley talk.
DeLorean, do me a favor and sit down. Will you sit down for me? I was speaking to you earlier. DeLorean, it's not a time to play games right now, okay? Do me a favor and sit down. DeLorean, DeLorean.
Yeah.
Hey, DeLorean, look at me for a second, okay? I want you to sit down so we can talk. You remember I said we want to figure out
Yep,
what we're
I
doing?
got it.
So we can get ready to go? DeLorean,
Dude,
DeLorean,
put that
how long have
down.
you been here? Have you been here about
Put
3
it
months?
down.
Josh, that's your LOE.
Put it down.
Josh, that is your
Put
LOE.
it down right now.
Josh, let Hartley talk.
Put it down.
Let Hartley talk.
Put it down.
Josh, stop.
DeLorean, DeLorean, look at me and have a seat. Have a seat.
Two officers responded with near simultaneous shots. One fired from the 40mm less lethal round, and one fired a round from a .223 caliber rifle. First aid was rendered immediately by a paramedic member of the Salt Lake City Police Department SWAT team, and emergency medical personnel were called. There is a note located in the house in which the suspect identified himself as a criminal and alluded to killing police. Again, we want to remind you all that this is an active and open investigation being conducted by the West Valley City Police Department and the District Attorney's Office. Our own internal affairs and the City Civilian Review Board will also conduct parallel separate investigations of this incident. Again, these are the facts as we know them today. Thank you for coming.
This concludes our briefing. We have a handout that will go through the timeline that we went through today. If you can please grab one on your way out. Also, the officers will be around to give clarifying statements if you didn't understand anything that was said. Thank you for coming today.